Hello and welcome to the feature match area here at Pro Tour Eldritch Moon. I'm Marshall Sutcliffe and it is time for the award ceremony. We actually have 2 awards to give to our first recipient. Owen Turtenwald is not only your finalist for this tournament, he's also your Player of the Year. Owen Turtenwald. Owen, congratulations. This is your second time winning Player of the Year. Which one feels better?
Oh, this one for sure. Because I was behind for a lot of the year and just had an amazing weekend.
You know, you gave us the full sweat, right? It was your last chance to get into the top 8. You were down a game, and you managed to win both of those games. What kind of feelings were going through your head when you made it into the top 8 and secured that Player of the Year?
You would be surprised, but I didn't have any good feelings because I had just been losing so much after starting 10-0 that winning was just a relief to have not totally blown it.
Thank you, Owen. Congratulations once again, our finalist and Player of the Year, Owen Turtenwald. Of course, that leaves us one more trophy to give away. Our champion from the Czech Republic, Lukas Blohon. Lukas, congratulations. What a huge moment for your career. This is your second Pro Tour top 8, and you're taking the trophy. What's going through your mind right now?
Well, I'm feeling great. That's about it.
That's it? Just great?
Yeah, just great.
How did you think about how the top 8 played out for you?
Well, I didn't think I would have many good matchups, but in the end, it played out pretty well.
Now, when it comes to preparing for the tournament, who did you test with? Who do you want to thank?
Well, I would like to thank my team cabin crew, because...
You can see here's Team Cabin Crew joining Lukas Blohon. Ladies and gentlemen, your champion for Pro Tour Eldritch Moon, Lukas Blohon.
To Lukas Blohon, your Pro Tour Eldritch Moon champion. We're checking in Ian Duke here at the news desk. We'll hear a little more from Lukas when he gets his breath back over across the studio with Brian, David, Marshall. But Ian, away from the players, the drama, the money, the end of season races, underneath all that, the game that you helped create helps us keep score. So how was the weekend for Eldritch Moon as a set?
You know, Rich, it's always just such a treat to watch the Pro Tour unfold because, you know, despite all of our best planning and our best predictions, there are always some small surprises as we see the set hit the real world. And watching Eldritch Moon and the impact it had on this tournament was a lot of small surprises in just a fantastic way. You know, Limited seemed to go great, a lot of great feedback from the players. Color balance looked great. We had Randy's breakdown of all the 3-0 decks, and that was looking pretty awesome.
Right, I think 4 of the 5 colors were either 15 or 16 3-0 decks, and I think white was just a little bit behind at 12. Tremendous.
Yeah, but people seem to really be enjoying the format, and then in Constructed, what can I say? Eldritch Moon is just such a powerful set. I mean, there are so many new cards that impacted decks, that impacted the way people are constructing their deck and thinking about how many different card types are in there. We saw all sorts of great flavor happening there. Emrakul versus Liliana in the top 8. We saw Tamio show up. We saw Delirium and Emerge drive entire decks. So there is no question in my mind, this set has been a great success here and has spawned a lot of new innovation and standards. So I'm really excited to see how things unfold from here on out.
Right, and the Pro Tour always sets this sort of benchmark point where we go, okay, we're kind of 3 weeks in, everyone's decided kind of what they like, everyone tunes into the Pro Tour to decide what they want to do moving forward. And it's this kind of big exclamation point on the early part of the season, and then we move from here forward. The big deck coming in was Bant Company. Leaving it, is there a big deck?
I think Emrakul is the big star of the show here. Now, we've seen there are a lot of different ways to build Emrakul decks. Time will tell what the best ones are or whether things just keep mixing up and people are trying lots of different strategies there. Bant Company, still definitely a player in the metagame. 2 copies made the top 8. If you like that deck, you enjoy playing it, it's still perfectly viable. And then Black-White Control, I think maybe surprised everyone here as the winner.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly felt like the final itself was a bit of a surprise. But the fact, something that Matej Zatlkai said when he was here at lunchtime, he said, one of the things with Black-White is it gives you such versatility in terms of your sideboarding. You can look at almost any metagame and go, all right, I've got plenty of slots and I have plenty of options for those slots. And if you can correctly predict what the metagame is, white-black is never really going to be off the table because, oh, unfortunately, everyone's blue-green emerged, so that just means I can't really play black-white. He said it isn't like that. It's an archetype that lets you customize your play experience, and especially here we saw...
Yeah, so very true. I mean, if you're a player who likes to tune your deck against the local metagame, white-black control has all the tools you need, especially if you're thinking about how to combat these Emrakul decks that did so well. Having tools like Duress, Transgress the Mind, Infinite Obliteration are great to have at your disposal. We also saw Summary Dismissal out of the sideboard if you want to add blue to your deck as well. So there are places to go, and I'm curious to see how that all evolves.
All right, so across the studio, we have our Pro Tour champion, Lukas Blohon. Hopefully he's got his breath back from winning 9 straight games in a row to be your Pro Tour Eldritch Moon champion. He's in the company of Brian David Marshall.
Thanks, Rich. And when you win 9 straight games in a row in the top 8 of a Pro Tour, you get a check for $40,000 and a map of oversized ATM locations that you can deposit this into. Lukas Blohon, congratulations.
Thank you.
You were having a spectacular season, even if you didn't show up this weekend.
Yes.
You were having a spectacular season. You had a 9th place finish. You were platinum. But what were your expectations coming into this tournament?
Well, going into this tournament, I just wanted to lock my slot for Worlds, which would mean that I needed to go something like 10-6 or 11-5 to get there. So, yeah, that was my goal. But then I just kept winning. I started day 1 at 5-3. So I was like, all right, if I can repeat it day 2, I'll probably be locked for the Worlds. So that would be fine. But then the next day I started 5-0. I'm like, all right, this works. And I just kept winning, and I drew in the last round, and that's it.
So I heard from Martin Yuza that your quarterfinal matchup, those first 2 games without sideboarders, were abysmal for you. Was it as bad as he made it out to be?
Well, actually, when we play tested it, it was like unwinnable. But actually, the games we played, like the first one, I was actually in pretty good spot to win the game. But my opponent had to draw 2 Emrakuls in a row to beat me, and he did. So I felt kind of pretty bad about that because I think I could have played better to not let this happen. And the second game, yeah, it was like pretty close too.
Yeah.
So, and after sideboard, it changes a lot. So I needed to win 3 straight games after sideboard, which is obviously tough, even though it is good matchup after that. But yeah, everything worked out, and
I know nobody was rooting harder for you in this tournament than the story team back at Wizards of the Coast's offices, because you made Liliana emblems to defeat Emrakuls with armies of zombies all weekend. You've made a habit of defeating Emrakul multiple times. You even defeated a player who played Emrakul and was controlling your turn, and they died on your turn.
Yes.
Can you tell that story one more time?
all right, so I had Kalitas, Archangel Avacyn, and a zombie token in play. So I sacrificed a zombie token to Kalitas, So on my turn that he was controlling, the Avacyn flipped and it dealt 3 damage to him, so he just died.
It's like, yeah, that's nice. You can take my turn. You're
Yeah.
dead.
Yes, exactly.
Wonderful. I'm going to let you go. There's a whole whirlwind of photos and interviews that you're going to need to do. But I can tell you the one thing that people at home are going to want to know is what's the one thing people need to know if they want to play this black-white deck in their local metagame, or at maybe GP Portland next week.
I would probably not play the same main deck. I think languishes are not well positioned, and Gideon is, so I would do some changes, probably more discard spell, less languishes, maybe some Gideons, no Sorens, no Linvalas. So just more discard spells, more Planeswalkers, no languishes or less languishes.
All right, there you go. This is a man who just won 9 games in a row. He's your Pro Tour champion. We're going to see him again in a few weeks in Seattle at PAX for the World Championship. Lukas Blohon, your Pro Tour champion.
And so another Pro Tour season comes to a close. Wherever you are around the world, thanks for being part of the Magic family. You're great, and we love to bring you as much coverage as we can around the world. Lukas Blohon is your Pro Tour Eldritch Moon champion. Owen Turtenwald is your Player of the Year. Those 2 and 22 more fabulous Magic players will be on hand for the World Championship in just a few short weeks. The 2016-2017 season, well, that kicks off less than a week away. We'll be live at Grand Prix Portland with updates from Rimini across in Italy. The first 2 of over 50 Grand Prix tournaments around the world that kick off the 2016 and 2017 season. For everyone who works behind the scenes, whether that's at Renton itself, the home of Wizards of the Coast, here at the Pro Tour at the Grand Prix, thanks for being part of our 2015-2016 season. We'll see you all again next season, about 100 hours or so from now. Until we meet again in 2016-2017, for everyone here, I'm your host, Rich Hagan, saying bye.